All right, you guys, what's going on? So, I decided to go live for this. I'm gonna probably do a few lives, maybe after I get done with work and everything. But um, this particular subject is starting to make its way around the internet streets, and it's starting to go viral. At the end of the day, when it pertains to a woman, in most cases, it doesn't matter what you do for a woman, no matter how much they say they need this, they need that, and then you got all these ridiculous broke ass, multiple children by multiple men having all these high standards and all these demands for a man to meet, and then you may run across that one guy that's willing to give you what you require, and it still will not be enough. The C, Ayesha Curry, constantly going on podcasts talking about how she didn't want to do this. She didn't see herself doing this. She didn't see herself doing that. It's just plain selfish of her, immature, and her just being a complete misandrist and feminist. Now, anybody that come on here trying to defend her, you might as well not say nothing because I'm gonna block you. And don't come on here saying, "Oh, you can't have a different." No, I don't want to hear that. My stream, my rules. Because at the end of the day, we're not even gonna debate about that because this is about people really trying to understand from a man's perspective. Whether Stephen Curry publicly says anything, she's humiliating him. It's women that then lost their job because of various reasons, sitting up wondering how they gonna pay their rent or living off their savings and all this kind of stuff. Yet she doesn't have to want for nothing. She with a dude that's almost a billionaire, but yet she's still making this about her. At the end of the day, you agreed to that. You said I do. Marriage comes with sacrifices. And to think, like I said, you don't have to worry about nothing, but you still going on podcasts, just basically complaining and whining about you didn't see yourself doing this, you didn't see yourself doing that. Oh, you thought he was going to do it. Well, my thing is, you've been married to him all this time. If that's the case, if you so unhappy, in the words of Fantasia, free yourself. Which I think eventually she is going to do. She's going to eventually leave him. She going to leave him high and dry. And my thing is with this, if you so unhappy, you so unsatisfied, you didn't picture yourself doing this, picture yourself doing that, don't ask for nothing in the divorce. I guarantee you if she leave, she not going to say in the divorce that she don't want anything. I guarantee you she going to want a big portion of Stephen Curry's accumulated fortune. See, you hear women talk like that. You hear them talk all this crazy stuff, but then I guarantee you they'll still say they don't want to leave, empty-handed. I don't know whether Stephen Curry made her sign a prenup or whatever the case may be, but it's just horrible to see her going on podcasts, just basically disrespecting him and, throwing him under the bus. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you something. There's really no such thing as growing to love somebody. It's called toleration. She probably grew to tolerate him. Because if you love somebody, you're going to love them. It's not that, when you hear a woman or a man say they wasn't particularly into a person when they first met them, that's, that is a pause for the cause. That is a red flag to me. I think that's a red flag, and that's basically what she been doing. But you hear some women consoling her, saying, I understand where she's coming from. So basically, you the type of person you would just get married just to say you married. Okay. And at the end of the day, so basically after a certain amount of time, you may marry this well-off man, and then after a certain amount of time, you'll just say, hey, I graduated from marriage. This is why prenups are very important. This is why you should make anybody and everybody, if you are a well-off person. Now, I promise you, if this was the other way around, I promise you, if this is the other way around, if this was a man doing that, women would be calling for outrage. They'd be like, how dare he just. But see, that's the thing with women. They don't want to take accountability for anything. They will somehow, some way try to justify them doing stuff like this. They will try to justify questionable actions. Why are you constantly going on podcasts complaining about how miserable you are? Just leave. Do him a favor, leave. Like I said, there's women that would kill to be in your position. Probably figuratively, like literally kill to be in your position. But yet you sitting up complaining. So Stephen Curry didn't make sacrifices? He dedicated his life to basketball, and it paid off. 4 NBA championships. Back-to-back MVPs, the only unanimous MVP in history. Finals MVP. 2-time scoring champion. They say Stephen Curry is worth anywhere from $500 to $700 million. So by the time Stephen Curry probably is 45, Stephen Curry will be a billionaire. But yet here it is, this woman sitting up complaining about how bad her life is, which her life isn't bad at all. I just do not understand how these women sit up here and just publicly say something like this and then think this is okay. And then, like I say, it just goes to show you any woman that's okay with Ayesha Curry and what she's saying, that says a lot about their character. It just shows that they're shallow and that they're a misandrous. I'm just like you got to be kidding. Just constantly going on there, just throwing this man under the bus. And then to see women trying to make excuses for her and trying to condone her actions, condone the words that's like, if I'm Stephen Curry, I'd be looking like, wow. Oh, I didn't see myself as a mother and all that kind of stuff. And then your kids is old enough to the point, some of your kids old enough to that, like, damn, what's up with mom? My thing is, why don't you just take off? I think a lot of women would kill to have the lifestyle that she has. He gave her everything. He didn't help her start restaurants. He didn't help her do a lot of stuff with his money. But like I said, she's still going on podcasts talking about, well, she thought she was going to be the breadwinner. Well, you ain't. You literally showing the world, anybody that got common sense, that you jealous of your own husband. And what type of talent did you think you was going to have to where you was going to get to where he was? That's what I don't understand. Okay, from what I heard, you failed at modeling. They tried to get you a cooking show. They tried to get you a cooking show on ABC. It bombed after one episode. So, tried to get you a restaurant in Las Vegas. I don't know if that international smoke is still over. Tried to get you that. So he tried. So he spent millions of dollars on you trying to help you create your own path. And yet you are still unhappy. You are still ungrateful. You are still talking about this man. Can you just shut the hell up? And these are the same women that wonder why men are not approaching them, why men don't talk to them, why men feel the way they feel about women this day and age. This is why men have checked out. This is why men are not going to the club. This is why men are not approaching you. This is why men are not helping you put your groceries in the car or help you put anything in the car. This is why men are not helping you fix a flat tire. I'm just like, wow. I thought she only did this once, but now she's just constantly doing this stuff. She basically giving women the green light. Hey, even though you can marry a rich man, you still won't be happy and you still can complain about it. And you still could throw him under the bus. Stephen Curry is looking real weak right now. But he in such a good position to where, he towards the twilight years of his career. He gonna be 38. So you gotta think that he's thinking retirement. But this is what I'm saying. Now, if you go in on Ayesha Curry, you know what you're gonna get accused of? Oh, you're attacking black women. You're attacking black women. You don't do this to white women. Yes, I would. Well, here's the thing. I have high expectations for black women. I expect black women to be better than this. I expect black women to keep their mouth shut. So there it is. I have high standards. Okay? That's the thing. I want black women to do better. The same way I get on black men, I get on black women. She's in a great position and she don't realize what she has. And like I said before, if you are so unhappy, so miserable, if Stephen Curry doesn't stimulate you or motivate you, then leave. But at the same time, don't ask for nothing in a divorce. I guarantee you she ain't gonna say, I don't want nothing. I guarantee you the first thing gonna be is, oh, and that's gonna be her thing too. In the divorce, she gonna say, I seek half. She gonna ask for half. She gonna say, I seek half because I, sacrifice my career, my ambitions, my dreams to be a housewife. And any judge with common sense, look at her and be like, are you nuts? I hear women all the time saying, oh, I'm looking for a provider. I'm looking for a man to do this. I'm looking for a man to do that. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. Well, she got the dream guy. She got a provider. She got a dude that treats her right. But at the same time, it just goes to show you, in a lot of cases, you will not be able to please a woman no matter what. You can do 95% right in a relationship, and that other 5% will be what the woman will hold on to and use against you. So in all likelihood, it's not going to surprise me when Stephen Curry retires, probably within the next couple of years, when the children get a little bit older. She's going to say that she wants a divorce. She's outgrew the marriage and all that kind of stuff. And if I'm Stephen Curry, if I'm Stephen Curry right now, I would put aside $20 million to fight her tooth and nail to make sure she get as less as possible. She definitely ain't getting half. I will fight her for years. I will fight her for years in court to make sure that she don't get half. I've never seen no stuff like this before in my life. And this is why dudes don't pay these women no attention when they be sitting up saying they want this, they want that. Because like I said, you can find that dude and these women will still find something to complain about. It's like, damn. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I thought he was going to be I thought he was going to be a high school basketball coach. Well, he isn't. He's a multi-time All-Star, a Finals MVP, a 4-time NBA champion, and he's a 2-time league MVP. And I'm going to say this again, the only unanimous MVP in history. Many people believe that's Stephen Curry. is at least scratching the surface of, at least being in the top 10 all time. Some people believe that he's possibly in the top 5. Some people believe, hell, when his career is over, he may be in the GOAT conversation. She can't handle the notoriety. And this is like the second time Ayesha Curry then did this stuff. She said before a few years ago, at first I thought she was cool, but then she fell into the trap. She fell into the thirst trap of seeing these lying ass women on social media, talking about this and just basically throwing a man under the bus. So next thing you know, she started talking about it bothers her that she doesn't get attention from other men and that other men, because you a married woman. And why in the fuck would you care whether a man is showing you attention? Why do you care? Why would you care? So that's another red flag. I was like, okay, she ain't who. And a lot of men thought she was cool. A lot of people was like, why can't she have the mentality of Felicia Rashad or Debbie Allen or somebody like that, or Monique, where they where they at least show respect for men? But that's the thing, that a lot of women feel like they don't have to respect men. A lot of women feel like they can do and say, whatever they want. And I'm seeing this a lot in black women. I hate to say it, the misandry with black women is just out of this world. It's like, it's like flooding the city with, it's like New Orleans being flooded. The misandry you see on social media, the misandry you see in life. And this is why I said I won't ever in my life vote for a woman to become president. When you got that kind of arrogance and you that big of a narcissist, that's a recipe for disaster. But anyway, appreciate you guys. It's your boy Tail, and I'm out.